as well. It's an amazing way to have some additional income generation. So if you have courses on the platform, you can earn additional revenue and also have a passive form of income. For those of you that have got courses already, you know that you can sleep and your course is still making money. One of the things that I'm really passionate about is residual income. So I know that if I do something once, I can earn again and again and again. And I'm sure that you all have information that you can utilize and share in that way so you can have an additional income stream. It's also about helping and inspiring learners. In this time that we are at the moment in this particular season, there are so many people that are now jumping online to be able to offer what they know and their products and services. And we think that it's a great way to help learners develop skills and knowledge. So if you look on the platform, you will see quite a few people have developed language courses. Now, for somebody of my age, the thought of developing a new language really seems daunting. But I'm really interested in learning a new language, and Afriverse provides that opportunity, especially languages from the continent. But it's also about recognition as well. So you can become recognized even more as an expert by your peers, students, and also professionals in your field. Sometimes we have lots of information that we have for ourselves. We might put it on a blog, share it on the social networks, etc. However, you can package it, put it on a platform and share it. And the great thing about Afriverse is that we are currently not charging our instructors to use the platform. There are quite a few platforms out there already, but if you go on there, you will see that they actually charge you a monthly fee for a limited number of users, whereas we're not doing that. We want to assist you to get your information out there. But also it offers new opportunities for you. As I mentioned, I write for Forbes and quite a few other platforms, but it's great to be able to expand my knowledge. So for example, I might write an article of about 800 to 1,000 words, but on Afriverse, I can expand my knowledge and really share the depth and the breadth of what I know. And as a result of that, it can definitely develop further speaking engagements for you. We do intend to do quite a bit of marketing, sharing the platform, but also your individual courses and who you are. In terms of greater reach, you might already have a social media presence, but in terms of your knowledge, again, this is definitely a way to reach out to learners through online courses. One of the things that I didn't mention is that I currently work as an educational consultant. I'm currently working with two secondary schools and also a trust, and they are absolutely racing to get all their content online, and it is not easy. So what we want to create for you is a greater reach for the information that you have. And to continue, it's also about learning from others. So one of the things that you will see in that one of the new additions to this is that you can also, hopefully everybody can hear me. Can you hear me, Malobi?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Not sure. Yeah, I think, Eric, maybe check your Zoom settings.
Okay, thank you. So in terms of the platform, we also have what's called virtual classes. And in a virtual class, you can also develop learning and discussions, and you can also learn from people that take your courses, and they can also learn from each other. So for example, one of the things that I have on the platform is I do some business mentoring, and I do some mentoring for some women. It's a very small group at the moment, and the platform and the classes are locked, but we meet on I think every 3 weeks, and we have a discussion. And what's great, even when I'm away from the platform, they can use the forum to have a discussion amongst themselves. So you can also learn from others, and each person can learn from each other as well. I find it's a great way to test new concepts. So I've got quite a few different types of courses. And so I've got a course on journaling, for example, or vision boarding, but I also wanted to test something to do like a 30-day challenge. So a 30-day calm and confidence challenge, and just see how that goes, but also some mindset hacks as well. So I'm testing different concepts because I've got all of this content. I put it on the course, and let's see how it goes. It's a great way to collaborate with others. So as I mentioned, I've got somebody on the call who's an author, and we're going to be creating a course based on a book we've created, and hopefully we can continue to collaborate with others. So there's lots of opportunities in different ways that you can do this as well, but also to become an innovator. As a thought leader and all the wisdom and knowledge that you have, share your skills. And also by being on a platform, lots of people saying actually online learning is definitely saturated. Believe you me, it's not. And it's not because somebody out there is looking for the information that you have, and if they can't find it, then maybe you can be the first to present that information. And if it's already out there, I'm sure that you've got a special and a unique way that you can present that for. just to mention as well is that when we created this, we looked to see whether there was anything else out there like what we are trying to produce, and we did find some courses and platforms, but they tend to be quite highly academic, where we want to have the academic but also expand out to quite practical courses as well. So we want to be the ultimate platform. We call it an Afriversity, that people hopefully of our descent believe that they can go on and find wisdom and knowledge. And it's not just about African history, but it's also about anything that you want to present for us and by us. So in terms of structuring courses, these are just a few points that I used to help me to develop a course. So think about an appropriate title, something that's quite catchy, but actually tells people what it is that is contained in the course as well. And you'll be able to put a description on there as well, so people can understand what you are offering. What I've done with my courses is that I've broken them down into about 4 or 5 main headings or subtitles. You don't want to have too much content, but once you've got 4 or 5 headings, you can then break those down into further lessons and also further topics as well. And Malobi will show you how to do that. You can develop a course into how short or how long you want. It's really up to you. But nowadays we know that people have quite short attention spans, so I tend to keep it to 4 or 5 main headings and then develop some lessons underneath that, usually again about 4 or 5. The great thing, again, you can add video, images, text. You can also add assignments for people to do. You can add documents, and also the quiz feature is really good as well. So once you've added all of your information, you can test people, and you can also get their responses as well and mark them and send information back to you. So it really depends how interactive you want it to be and how much time you have to make that happen. I think the last thing for me is that one of the things that I've done to create a course is that I create all of my content in a document. So not on the platform. Usually I might create it in Word or on WordPad. Once I've got the information on there, I then cut and paste it in the course. I add some images as well, just to make it more visual. I'm definitely a visual learner. That is really helpful for you, because once you've done that, you can just cut and paste, put it in there, and then you can play around with the look and feel. The platform enables you to cut and paste from anywhere, and I think that's definitely a good way to start and to go ahead. So that's enough from me. I've said quite a lot, and please hold your questions until the end. I'm happy to answer any questions about what I've done on the platform. And now we'd like to speak to Bimpe about who she is, and she is a guest instructor. I believe has just recently also developed a virtual classroom, and I'd like to invite her just to share who she is, but also just a little bit about her. Are you there, Bimpe?
Hello, yes. Hi, Dion.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Dion and Malobi, for inviting me on.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Bimpe Odu. So as part of my profession, I've been in the digital and tech space for about 10 years now, supporting businesses to basically transform their ways of working and think about innovative ideas and develop those and bring those to market quickly. So that's what I do day to day. I'm also a YouTuber and mentor. And now the focus is really for me to put available training around product development and agility, and how businesses and individuals can use those skills to push forward the products that they have.
Okay, so you call yourself the Agile Beehive. Tell me more about that name.
Yes, so if you look at the logo, you can see that there is a bee, or a mother bee, if you want to call it that is leading the other bees. And ultimately, what we provide at the Agile Beehive is new ways of working, new ways of thinking, a different kind of mindset that will drive you and help you to be innovative. You don't have to know everything at the beginning, but there's a process, there's a journey that you need to experience with your products, your services, your ideas to kind of mature it. And that refinement process is what we take you through on the training that we provide. And that's through the YouTube channel that we have. It's also through what I'm hoping, as we partner with yourselves on Afriverse, to provide practical training, practical exercises, and mentoring to support businesses to get to that place, basically, that they want to be.
Fantastic. And how long have you been doing this work? Okay.
It has, so in my career, I've been doing agile and product development for 7 years now, just over 6 years, 7 years now. And in terms of training specifically, I've been doing that for about 2-3 years. With the Agile Beehive specifically, we've focused on a specific type of training called Love My Product and Agile Fundamentals interactive virtual training. And that's been going on for 1.5 years now.
Okay. So before you started doing things online, how would you deliver the content?
Yeah, so we used to do classroom training, obviously, with the lockdown. So I'd already explored how I could do virtual training prior to the lockdown. So I migrated across quite quickly and easily. And it was classroom training with a mix of exercises online, but it was a mesh of both really, and predominantly classroom training.
Okay, and just remind me, in terms of Agile, is that a form of project management, project development?
So it's product development, yes. So it's developing either a service or a product, essentially a solution, and building that and developing that and working in a very collaborative, feedback orientated way. So like you really drive and prioritize feedback from customers and users to prioritize how you build something or what you deliver to your customers essentially. So project management is a little bit different in that you're focused on the delivery of the project, whereas agility is about like delivering value and delivering the right thing to customers.
Fantastic. And so it sounds like that you definitely want to move more of what you do online. What do you think the benefits are for you and your business?
Yeah, so there's a lot of great collaborative tools out there. And I feel like if we can harness those and use those to kind of store the ways store the information that we have and use that to collaborate. I'm collaborating and working with a number of people globally, and that wouldn't have been possible had we stuck to a classroom, you know. So having the ability to collaborate, to engage and have clientele in various different locations like Canada, the US and Nigeria as well. It's been really great in that we can just deliver stuff and not have to travel. You save a lot of money, you know, and a lot of things are just stored virtually. So you save on costs, you know, with how you actually deliver the training.
Okay. And so I suppose a bit of a selfish question, what makes Afriverse appealing to you at the moment?
Yeah, so I think for me, the reason it's been appealing is firstly, like I commend you both for coming up with something like this that's kind of like one-stop shop for everything around learning. I feel like I'm excited to be in a space and a community, a virtual community where thought leaders, gurus, you know, mentors, teachers, whatever you call yourselves, you know, big people in your industry can share your knowledge and also tailor that knowledge and that information in a way that's accessible and easy for our demographic to like understand and appreciate. I think that's super important. Like one of the things that I've done with my training, for example, is I use a lot of imageries that's relatable to our demographic and Black people as well as in the pictures. I also feel with your training, when you compare it to the likes of other vendors and training provider platforms, they don't have everything integrated in the way you've got it. Like if you talk about, let's say, Meetup, for example, you know, you have your discussions, you have the assignment section, you have all these different sections as though you were in a classroom, like, you know, as you would have been taught in school. You have all these different features that you would normally have had you been in a physical classroom. You have it all online, and I'd really like that experience. I'm all about experience, learning experience, and I really feel like you've really thought that through and created a good virtual experience for people who are studying and trying to learn about whatever the topic is.
Fantastic, thank you very much for that. And so what will your first course be?
Okay, so oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what will your first course be on the platform?
Yeah, so I've actually got two, but the first one, or the one you might want to start with, it's a bit of a mouthful, but I like to say what it is on the tin. So it's Agile Fundamentals Interactive Virtual Training. Okay, so it's IFIV, and it really is to get you familiar with agile ways of working, agile ways of collaborating. It's useful for anyone in like practitioners, anyone trying to get into the industry of tech and digital, but they don't necessarily want to be a developer. You know, what they want to develop those skills around maybe being a product manager, being a BA in that kind of industry, in that space. So it kind of equips you with all of that, all the skills that you need to successfully fulfill a role like that. But then also if you're a business owner or product owner, as in you own a business or you own, or you're responsible for products and services, you kind of get a feel of how you want to structure your teams and your company, or maybe your the way in which you deliver your products and services. And then we have Love My and product training as well, which kind of leads off from that. And it really is so that your customers love your product or your services. That's what, so it's literally what it says on the tin.
Amazing, really, really good. And just going back to what you were saying about the different features, I think we get excited every now and again when we discover that we can do something else. And we really didn't want to be quite restrictive, because we know that there's lots of people. So I've been developing courses for over 10 years online in various platforms, but never really feeling that I could do the breadth of what I really wanted to do. And so from that experience, we feel that we now have something that is appealing, but also have multiple features to enable people like yourselves and people on the call to really expand what they're doing and getting it out there without those restrictions. So, we're really excited to have you on board. How do we get in contact with you? What's the best way to find out more about what you do, apart from when you will be on the Afriverse platform?
Yeah, sure. So we have the Agile Beehive. So if you go on YouTube, you can find us there. So the Agile Beehive, on Instagram, the Agile Beehive, and then we have the Agile Beehive at gmail.com for email address. I can maybe post this in the chat so that you have everything you need. And we also have our website as well. So I can post everything in the chat and you can contact me that way. I'm not sure if you'll be sending a follow-up email to thank attendees as well, and maybe we can put it in there as well.
Great, thank you very much for that. Malobi, have you got any other questions?
No, that's it. Pretty much took the questions out of my mouth, because the word agile, I've been hearing it a lot, and your definition kind of made a lot of sense to me. So yeah, thank you very much for obviously deciding to join our platform, and really looking forward to helping you on board, and any questions you need, you can always ask me. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for your time. And you are actually depicting what agility looks like, because you incorporate feedback into what you do. So appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So right now we will move on to the live demonstration of the platform. So if you just give me 1 second, I will share the right screen. 1 second, guys. Let me just share the current screen. Right. Can everyone see my screen, the home screen for Afriverse?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. So thank you guys for staying till this part. I will try and make this as quick as possible, whilst also going to as much detail as necessary. So as some of you have already been on the platform or been on the website, our website is afriverse.co. This is our homepage, which has, most of the courses that we've got uploaded so far. If it's your first time, I recommend going to the Getting Started area. Teaches you how to upload a course. We've got a video instruction on basically some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today. In addition, we've got a course idea validation course we're going to be releasing very soon. And then also Dion went over a couple of bullet points on this, which is the basics of how to create an online course. So if it's your first time, you really don't know where to start, how to structure it, I really recommend this course. It's really super helpful. And so we've got a few courses we've uploaded already on the platform, from languages to self-development, etc. We've got courses on how to export products from Africa. So we're really just slowly but surely increasing our online database. Something that I'll be touching on later on is the virtual classes tab virtual, some people like to call it interactive classes. So essentially what we've got here is a way for you to create your own classroom. As you can see here, Bimpe is currently working on hers. And essentially what we're doing is we're allowing you to have your own private classroom where people can upload videos, photos, you can host your Zoom meetings on there, and anything else you need to do on your own private classroom. So as you can see, we've recently been onboarding the TWE Learning Center, who we've recently partnered with. But I'm just going to go on to a virtual classroom that I've been working on recently. And so if you want to create your own virtual classroom, once you've become an instructor, there will be an opportunity right here next to where it says all groups. It will give you the option to create your own group. So if you're signed in as an instructor, it should be pretty straightforward. Right now I'm in a place with really slow internet, so apologies for the delay. Let me just open that in a new tab. So if you want to sign into the platform, you can just click on sign in over there. But if the sign in area here is not really for instructors, so I just wanted to make that clear. This is sign in for general people that want to just sign in, subscribe, people that want to become students. If you would like to be an instructor, which most people are on this call for, you click on the Become an Instructor tab, which is on the main menu tab on the top of the screen. Right, and so here we've got our terms and conditions. What do you be doing? How to create a course creation tools, assessment tools, all the things that we have on the platform. And so all you have to do really is just fill out this form, create a username, profession, occupation. As you can see, most of these questions are not really compulsory, but we do advise so that we know a bit more about you, and so that we can help you in any way we can. I'll just keep an eye on the chat and try and answer as I go along. Otherwise, if I don't see your question, I'll answer them right at the end. So once you've become an instructor, then you can sort of sign in. Let's sign in as this one. Let's go. And so now that you've created your own instructor account, you've signed in, I'm going to show you guys how to actually create your own course. Now, once you're signed in, you're going to be taken to the instructor dashboard. So essentially what this is, it just shows you how many courses you've got, how many students are enrolled, your earnings, and your basic statistics on your course. If you're stuck and you'd like to get back to the home page, on the top right corner here, you've got the log out button and you've got the home screen, which is the Afriverse thing over here. Now, once you're here, there are two main tabs that you really just need to be aware of. And then as you get used to the platform, you can start using more interesting things like quizzes, etc. But the two main tabs you really want to keep an eye on are the courses tab, which is underneath your overview, which is the instructor dashboard, and then your profile tab. So your profile tab is kind of, what it says is, just customizing your profile. So after you've signed on, you can choose your theme colors, you can change your username, you can change your email address, you can change your password, etc. So that's really what that profile section is for. And then the courses tab is the main tab that you really want to be aware of. And here you can sort of create your new course, you can edit existing courses. So as you can see here, I've got a course I've already created. I can edit it, I can, delete it, etc. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to show you guys how to add a new course. So you just click on add new on the top here. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to see if there's any questions.
Hi, Malabi, I'm taking care of the chat room, so you can continue.
All right, brilliant, cool. So once you're on here, this is the course creation page, right? So this is basically the main page that people are going to see when they first, you know, click on that course on the home page. So let's say we've got a course title we want to create. So let's say call it Afriverse Course Creators. So that's the main title of your course. I wouldn't really add anything else on this page. The title here is good enough. And then when you want to add a description, you'd go down here. So you can say, right? So you can just create whatever content you want there. So once you've done this, if you've already got a preview video, so you want to do like a talk to the screen, tell people more about the course in a preview, you can add that link here. Say it's a YouTube link, Vimeo, whatever. And so once you've created the title and you've added your description, you would click on publish. And so once you've done that, you can always, which is something that I really like, you can always view what you've created so far. So I've just published this here, and it gives me the opportunity to copy the link or view the course. So right now, this is all I've created so far. I've created the title, and I've created the course description. And then if I had that preview video, this is where it would come up, right? So now that I've created the actual skeleton or the course title page, on the top left here, we've got the course page. The next thing you want to do is go to the builder, which is this tab over here. And once you're in the builder section, you want to create your first heading. So each section has its own heading, right? So let's say I want to give this one a heading, say it's part 1. Let's keep it nice and simple. Now I've created my first heading, right? You can remove the heading, you can edit the heading, you can call it part 1.5 if you want, really, and then you can save that. So now you've got your course heading. Then the next step would be to add a lesson to it. Now the lesson is the sort of main area where you're actually going to put the content. So let's call it how to create a course, add the lesson. And then just the same way you edited the section heading, you can also edit the lesson. And then also, if you want to go a bit deeper, so say for example, you've got a lesson, but within the lesson you want to add other sub-lessons, the sort of methodology or the term we use is a topic. So topics are essentially the same thing as lessons, but they're lessons within lessons, if that makes sense. So it's just if you want to break things down further. And then also you can add quizzes, which we can go on a different call. But for the purposes of this call, I'll just keep it nice and simple and just do what's called a lesson. Now that you've created your first lesson, maybe let's create another one just so that people can see it. How to create course part 2. Add another lesson here. So on the left hand side here as well, you can see where this hand comes up. You can also rearrange stuff. So if you don't like the structure or how things are ordered, you can always rearrange it. You can swap a section heading for another one. So yeah, so once you've actually created the content, you know, restructuring things is pretty easy, as easy as just drag and drop. So once you've created the title of your lesson, you'd want to go to edit. So normally the way I prefer to do it, I open a new tab so that I can create stuff. Let me just close all this stuff here so that it's nice and simple. So yeah, I'll just click on edit so you can edit the lesson. Now this is where you actually, you know, add the bulk of your content. So say for example, you want to just have a course where it's just words, right? You don't want to have any videos. This is all this stuff here is where you create all those words, break it down to paragraphs, etc., etc. But if you want to add videos, to be honest, what we do recommend, just to save space and just to save yourself, like, you know, creating a bunch of videos that take up space, we recommend that you would upload it onto YouTube or Vimeo or whatever platform, and set the video settings to private so that no one else can see that video, and then you can just copy paste the link onto here. So let me just show you how to copy paste the link. So you go to YouTube. Sorry. Copy paste the link. So copy it and then just paste it here. And once you paste the link, it will automatically embed that video for you, right? And so now you've got your video there. If you don't want to use YouTube and you've got all the files ready and you just want to upload that, that's also fine. So what you do is you add a block, you search for video, and then you click on the video button here, and then you can just upload whatever video you want to upload. So I hope that makes sense. Again, for the sake of time, I'm just going to be going through this, but at the end of this, you can also ask me questions. But yeah, either you can upload a video that you've already got on your computer, or you can use a platform like Vimeo, or YouTube, sorry. And then once you've done that, always remember to update whatever you've uploaded. So you click on update here. And then once again, it will give you the opportunity to view what you've created so far. So this is what I've created so far. As you can see, it's Afriverse course creators, part 1.5 on the left, how to create a course. You've got your participants. Because I haven't set the restrictions yet, everyone's sort of able to see it, but I will quickly go over how you can, make people, pay for it. You can set your pricing, etc., etc. But as you can see here, this is the bulk of the content over here. Once your student's done, they can mark it as complete on the bottom over here. So that's pretty much how to create a course, the bulk of it really. Once you've done that, you can go to settings. Again, a lot of these are kind of self-explanatory, but the main one you want to sort of pay attention to is the access mode. So right now it's set to open, so it's not protected. Any user can look at it. You can also set it to free, but people have to register to it. So we would recommend, even if you're having it as a free course, we would use the free option here. And then you can use the buy now. So this is if you want people to actually pay for it. And then you just set a number, let's say it's £30 or whatever. If you're outside of the UK, we're currently updating the website, so it's going to be in any currency that you want. But we recommend you put it in whatever the price is in pound sterling, and then our website will automatically update it to whatever currency you're working with. And then also you can have recurring, so if you want people to be sort of paying on a regular basis. But for now, buy now is the best way to do it. And then, if you want to close the group, you click on closed. And then there's other stuff like prerequisites, etc., but that's for more advanced users. Say, for example, you want people to have completed one course before they can create or watch or learn from this course. You can set a prerequisite. And then also, you can set course users. Say, for example, you want to invite people to this course, you can do that here as well. So that's pretty much the bulk of, how to create a course. Also, you can add the courses to specific groups, which I'll be sort of going over in a second. But you can do this on the front end. But what we would recommend is that you just send us an email, just so that things don't you don't do the things the wrong way, and keep it nice and simple. But you can do it over here as well. So say, for example, you've got a course that you want to, or a school or a group, a virtual class that you want to add this course to, then you can do that here as well. So that's pretty much the bulk of creating your own course. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to, let me just go back to the home page. I'm going to show you guys how to create your own virtual classroom. Right now, let's close all of this. Don't need that. So when you want to create your own virtual classroom, say you've recently signed on, you want to have your own Zoom classes, you would go to the virtual classes tab. And once you're on the virtual classes tab, it would give you this option to create your own group. And again, it's pretty much a flow that you have to go through. It would ask you a few questions. You know, what's your group name? You know, are you going to add any courses to it? Any photos? Your group photo, your cover photo, etc. So that stuff, it's, you know, you can go through in your own time. In addition to that, say you've already created your own group or virtual class, whatever term you prefer to use. This is where you go. So this is my own school, and these are the tabs that I currently have. So if you want to add a course to your group, just send us an email and we can get that done for you. So over here where it says feed, this is where your courses tab would be, and it would list out all the courses you have. So all your courses can be under a group, if that makes sense. Also, we've got a news feed. So if people want to just post stuff, interesting stuff on your group, you can have that here. You can have forum discussions. You know, say you have got a topic, or you've just had a Zoom meeting and you want to discuss further, you can have that here. You can create multiple discussions, as many as you want, on various different topics. You can invite people to your group. You can share photos. And then one of the newest developments is having the Zoom option on our course or virtual classroom. So just in the same way, if you're familiar with Zoom, it's kind of the same structure. So you can have the meeting title, description, passcode, the time, etc. And all of the normal Zoom features. So rather than having to go out to do that in Zoom, you can do it all on the Afriverse platform, which we're really excited about, and we're really happy about this new development. So yeah, if you want to create a new meeting, and then also whilst you've created that meeting, it would also give you the option to record that meeting and host it on the Afriverse platform. So all of your past meetings, if you record them, they would actually come up here, which is actually really useful for people that are in your group. So they don't, you know, you don't always have to send them emails of the recordings. All of your recordings will just be populated over here, which we think is a fantastic, and you know, most of the instructors we're working in right now are really happy about this new feature that we've added. In order to add that Zoom feature though, you would have, normally you wouldn't have this over here on the tabs. You would have to go to manage, and then on the side of the manage tab, you would see Zoom over here, right on the bottom here. And then you would have to click on the setup wizard, because essentially you would be connecting your own personal Zoom account to this. If it was a case that, you know, Afriverse was using our own Zoom account, you know, that would be a bit easier for you because you wouldn't have to go through this. But we want to give you that independence. We want to give you that flexibility so that you can host it on your own Zoom account, and all of the recordings would be going to your own personal Zoom account. So we would have no control, or we wouldn't actually have access to your personal recordings. So it's a step-by-step process. It doesn't actually take very long. You know, it takes about 3 to 5 minutes. You just have to follow the steps, go onto the Zoom website. But all of the instructions are here, and it really is quite straightforward. And so that's pretty much how you create your own. So once you've done all of this and you've saved settings, this Zoom tab would come up over here, and then you can start hosting Zoom meetings. And then I think that's pretty much it for this webinar demonstration. Like I said, if you want to add courses, just send an email to us at support@afriverse.co. Dion, maybe if you could just drop that in the chat. And then what you can do is you can have your courses Okay, let me just explain this slowly. Sometimes I lose people here. So you can have your virtual class as an open virtual classroom, so anyone can join it. And then you can create a course and have it as part of your courses tab, so that once someone has paid for your course, they can then have access to a subgroup which you've created. And then if you want to create a subgroup as well, I can show you how to do that, or you can send me an email. And by that, you can basically say Pan-African Traders School is the main school, which is open to anyone. And then once you've paid for our course, you can have the Pan-African Traders School Semester 1, for example. And then only people that have paid for your course can have access to that subgroup. And that's the way that we can recommend you having private groups. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit complicated, but I hope it makes sense to most of you on here. And with that, I'm gonna go on to the questions, because I do realize I've gone through quite a bit of information. I want to make sure people understand what we're talking about here. So yeah, let me, 1 second. Right. Guys, I know that I have gone through quite a lot of information here. So are there any questions? Maybe Dion, did you pick up any questions along the way?
There were some questions just around, if you are an instructor, can you also be a learner? And do you need 2 different accounts? And from my understanding, you don't need 2 different accounts, because to access somebody's course, if you have to pay for it, then you would still need to pay for it. It wouldn't just have free access. So I think you just need 1 account to be an instructor, but also a learner as well.
Exactly, yeah. An instructor account can also be a student. So once you sign up as an instructor, you are an instructor and a student technically. So you don't need to have a separate student account and an account. So yeah, you can also be a learner as an instructor.
Another question that tends to come up, Maloba, is how many courses can an instructor create, but also within a course, how many lessons can they create? Are there any restrictions there?
So no is a short answer to that. So you can create as many courses as you want. You know, we don't have a limit to that. To be honest, for us, it's great. You know, the more education and knowledge you can share, the better for us, for our audience, for our students. So yeah, there's no restrictions in terms of how many courses you want to create, how many lessons you want to have within the course, how many topics, how many quizzes. We're really leaving things open, and as Bimpe would say, we're trying to stay agile and flexible with how we're going to be working with this. We're still in the early stages. We launched, we started this project in 2020, so there is still stuff we're going to be learning from you guys, the feedback that you guys give us. We're staying open to any kind of feedback and suggestions. So that's why we're keeping things as open as possible. We're not trying to really restrict our instructors when it comes to course creation. So yeah, any other questions? I'm surprised last time we had this, there was quite a few. So Salima asks, how long have you been going and how many subscribers do you have so far? Dion, when did we actually start doing this? It was like mid 2020. I don't know. I think it was July, August, maybe.
Yes, yeah. It seems like forever. Yeah, because we've done so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was July, August.
Yeah. So it was July, August. So you could say we're still in the early stages. Right now, we're really focusing on the instructors. We're trying to make sure that the sort of the user flow, the platform is easy and intuitive for the instructors to use. And we're trying to build up that sort of instructor database so that we have enough content for the students. So we're still working, we're still marketing it, but you know, we're growing day by day, and you know, we've got many exciting sort of courses lined up. So we're really excited for what's going to come up, especially in 2021.
Also, can I just add as well, my love, is that once you learn how to, the way that I learned is I focused on the developing a course and really learn how to do that. Once I learned how to do that, I think I uploaded about 5 different courses in 2 days because I had my content. I'd learned how to develop a course and therefore could just put everything on there, which was just a cut and paste job. So I think once you learn how to do that, you can then do it relatively quickly. I then moved on to the virtual class. But what I love about the virtual class is that it feels like if I didn't have any other websites, that could just become my website because I've got information about me. I've got what I can offer. I've got ways to connect with learners and my mentees. So the first thing that I did was develop the courses. Then I'm now focused on really building the virtual classes because I think that can be a face of a lot of the different things that I do. I don't need anything else at the moment. I've got that.
Exactly. And another great thing is that, I've got a lot of relatives in Nigeria and people that I know that, maybe might not be able to afford to pay for their own website or pay for their own hosting. And essentially that classroom actually can function as your own website, as your own landing page. So that's really part of the benefits to it. So and like Dion said, once you start using the platform and you've created your first course, it just gets so easy. It's just building that muscle. And once you've created your first course, everything just kind of flows quite easily. How many instructors do we currently have? That's a good question. I think it's about 25 to 30. The thing is, with we've got a lot of instructors, and we've got quite a few of them that have created courses, but a lot of them are still working on their courses because a lot of our people that we're working with are first-time course creators. So it does take time to build a structure, create the course, record the content, etc. So I'd say about 30 instructors, and then about a third to half of those have got their courses on the platform.
I just add to that as well. People have come to the platform at various stages. So we've got people who just think this sounds like a great idea, but I've got no content. How do I get the content out of my head onto the platform? And people are starting from that too. They've already got courses maybe somewhere else, but they're paying 30 to 40 pounds a month to engage with 10 or 15 users where they don't have those restrictions on our site. So there's a variety of people at different stages as well.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if we actually went over this, the commission structure. So the platform is always going to remain free for you to onboard and create your own course and join the platform. The way that the revenue structure works is that 75% of the revenue stays with the instructor, and then we take 25% to sort of run the website and admin and marketing and all that. So it's always going to stay free to actually be on the platform to upload your content. But in terms of the commission or remuneration, whatever you want to call it, we keep 25%. When it comes to the virtual classroom, at the moment that's free. At least to have your first virtual classroom, but we're kind of thinking of how we're going to monetize that, whether if you want to have more than one virtual classroom, we might say, okay, you might have to pay for that, but at the moment that's free as well. But 100%, if you're just creating a course, if you want to upload a course to the platform, that's free of charge. And also, if you need help actually uploading the content, we can do that for you for free as well. So if you've got a bunch of videos and documents on Word or Google Docs or whatever, Google Drive, if you just tell us the instructions and your structure, we can upload that to the website for you free of charge.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, and one good thing that I probably didn't mention earlier is when you talk about the likes of like Udemy or whatever, you own the content on Afriverse, and that's the great thing. Like, regardless of how long it's been there or what the structure in terms of cost, price, and whatever, you own your content. Whereas on other platforms, the moment you put your content on there and you've signed up with them, they own your content. So that's the great thing about being here. It's like you still have ownership of whatever you put out there.
Yeah, that's a great thing to mention as well. And also our content is lifetime access for our students. So say for example, that just basically means if someone pays for a course, there's no limit of time. Say for example, they only have access to the course for 1 year. It's lifetime access as well. And yeah, so we don't own any of your content. If you decide that Afriverse is not the platform for you, we're not going to hold on to that. We're gonna, you know, you can take it on and off the platform as freely as you wish. So yeah, we don't actually own the rights to any of your content. We're just being a platform for you to boost that sort of knowledge and also boost the recognition of the course that you're creating. So yeah, will you have? I'm not sure if I think what you mean is will we have our own sort of alternative to Zoom? Zaya, is that the question? Is that what you mean? Because we do have our own platform. But yeah, I've actually had someone ask me this question before, funny enough. Just something we're definitely open to doing. It might require a bit of development costs, etc. But you know, if it's something that definitely comes up again, then I mean, yeah, that's because funnily enough, someone has actually asked me this question before, so I'm not going to ignore that question. So yeah, Dion, we'll definitely have to speak about that later.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think we're quite keen to connect with existing platforms and third-party platforms that people are already using. And sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. If something's working and it's already out there, then let's get access to that and make sure that people can stay connected as easily as possible.
Exactly. So yeah, using Zoom right now, it's obviously way more cost effective. It's way easier to integrate, etc. But you know, if it's something that people are keep requesting, then we'll definitely look into having our own alternative to Zoom. Why not? You know, I'm all about you know, Black people owning their own stuff and controlling their own environment, etc. So yeah, I'm definitely open to looking into that. So. Yeah, thanks for that suggestion, Zaya. Any other questions? I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered most of it. Again, if you've got any questions, hit us up whatever platform is most comfortable for you. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Send an email to support@afriverse.co. We're gonna be sending a follow-up email with the recording of this session. And yeah, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, Bimpe, for speaking with us as well. Really looking forward to seeing your content on the platform. Thanks, Dion, as well, for helping to co-host this meeting. And I wish you guys a great day and enjoy your evening or whatever time it is over there.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye-bye.